Hey guys, welcome to EDC Journeys. If you like my channel, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. What's going on, EDC people, and what's our journey today? Have something special from the Apex Pass Around group and TuyaKnife. Have the Tuya Envy 2 and 3 for your viewing pleasure. This is going to be basic first impressions. I only have them for a short time. I'm going to do give you my thoughts on them as well as the specifications and ship them on to the next person YouTuber. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this. We won't make it anything too official or formal here. The Tuya Envy 2, so it's the 2 and the 3. The 2 is the frame lock and the one on top on your screen. And the Tuya Envy 3 is the liner lock on the bottom. So this is obviously titanium. This is a carbon fiber G10 mix, I believe, and this is the red variant. I think there's a tan one as well. I'll pop a picture up on the screen if I can find one. And that's that. Both blades, they're obviously very similar. The specifications are almost identical. I'll show them on the screen as well as say them. The bottom line is that both of them have an overall length of 7.75 inches. The blade on that is 3.25 inches. Interestingly enough, the cutting edge actually registers at 3.3 or almost 3.4 inches. So the cutting edge is actually, in this case, registers, at least on retailers' websites, as longer than the blade. And it kind of is, because you measure to the handle. So I think there is a little bit of just that ever so slight amount that's longer than the blade length, technically, as far as what the U.S. measures. But it's a very fishy gray subject, because where on the handle do you measure to? As far as if I'm a police officer, maybe there's more specifications, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a gray subject. Anyways, both of them are drop points with compound grinds, which are both very nice. I'll show the 3 up close. Actually, I will notice that the 3, something I noticed the other day. Let me try to zoom in a little bit. I only have so many hands here. The compound grinds are identical on both of them, but the edging or the grind work itself is more crisp on the 3, I've noticed. I'm trying to show you kind of in the sunlight. You see the 2 up top has the same lines, but they aren't as well shown as on the 3, which is on the bottom. Do you see what I'm kind of saying? They're kind of more rounded as far as the grind goes. But that having been said, you have a hollow grind on both of these on M390 until the front, which is a compound grind. It's a compound grind, but it's also a compound or a convex grind. Compound. This is a compound grind because there's 2 different kinds of grinds on here. You have hollow and convex. Okay, and then here is the beautiful swedge work on top. I really like the way that the thumb pad lands on the jimping. It kind of reminds me of like a rock eye or something Les George-esque. Let's see here. It comes in, I wrote the weight down at 3.5 ounces, but I don't remember which one that was, and they have to be different. So, let's see here. Turn on in ounces. The Tuya Envy 2, which is the titanium frame lock, is 3.8 ounces, 107.84 grams, 3.719 ounces, and 105.4, say 106 grams. Okay, I only have on me right now the PM2, but that is a perfect example. Line it up with the bottom of the Tuya Envy, or the Envy 2 here. And anyways, the handle comes in at, I believe, 0.5 inches exactly. okay, I lied, 0.51. The blade stock, 0.16. Comes in at about 1 inch tall, I believe. Ooh. Yep, near enough to 1 inch, 1.01. Yeah, and so as far as those specifications, they're nearly identical minus the weight. You see the texturing on the titanium is a little bit different. I do like how the handles, let me put my tools down here. The handles are both, let me close the blade, both contoured. And this particular one has the grooving here. You can see I'm trying to get a good angle on it so you can see it goes both around this way and kind of in this direction as well. And you have I'm trying to show you here, it's not really working, but anyways, the it kind of peaks out in the middle, so it fills your palm is what I'm trying to say. It kind of it's kind of bulbous in the middle. Yeah, that's the word I wanted, bulbous, and it kind of fills your palm. I like that where my thumb lands, and that I can also creep up and use this forward area. It's, for all things considered, it's a very comfortable knife, and they're really cool. I mean, the frame lock for me is more reliable as far as the detent ball on closing. I'm trying not to, okay, let's just get rid of that. The frame lock, I find that a lot of times with my, well, as it's under the camera, it's working just fine. So you can see it's not that big of a deal. But I do find that I do drop it before the detent ball sometimes, but not now. So you can see they're really reliable as far as deployment, retraction. They sound awesome. They are unfortunately favored to the right hand, especially the frame lock one. The pocket clip is a titanium textured pocket clip on this one, and obviously it's titanium, I'm sure. Yep, but it is still right hand only on that one too also, but you can see they use that same texturing on the titanium. So it's nice to have a large hole to fit a larger cable through sometimes. However, on the other hand, without that, would it have been sharper? Maybe. You know, could they have done an internal one and kind of, I don't know, maybe gotten rid of this kind of particular ending and done a post in the back here? I don't know. I'm not sure, because this is also a backspacer at the same time, which kind of makes sense. So, you know, all things considered, is not bad, and it does add to the feeling of fullness in the hand. So maybe I'm wrong in that, you know, because that right there, without having that there, it would be far less substantial in hand. So I think I stand corrected right on camera as to why that exists and why that's done that way. I was impressed when I first put these in my hands. I was impressed at the comfort. That's the big thing I'll say about them. The second thing I noticed was how awesome the action on them were. What can I tell you about them? I mean, there's not much to say. Those are the stats on them. They're really nice knives. I wish that they were personally mine so that I could use them and report more details to you. This is kind of just a treat to take a look at some high-end knives that normally at least I wouldn't normally have on hand, both models. Both of these are near enough to $250 a piece. So while they are nice, they are expensive. Top-notch knives from TuyaKnife. The blade is M390, as I've stated, I'm sure before. Both of them are Boulder M390. Again, specifications are identical both on the Tuya Envy 2 and 3. You know, and that's the frame lock model, the Tuya Envy 2, is slightly more expensive, being a titanium frame lock. However, I will also say that as far as I know, the liners on the NV3 are titanium as well. Oh, look, hey, there's a number. 017. So this is a numbered knife. I did not even know that. So this is number 017. I'm guessing this one now is more. See, this is why I enjoy recording outdoors, because the sunlight, you can see things sometimes you just don't see inside. 198. I wonder how many there were made. I should really know that for the video, but very very cool. So they're both numbered. I'm sure that means that there are several others out there numbered. You can see here the M390. I believe that is the owner / creator's initials and the model number. I believe his name is Dave Warren. So DW3, and I'm guessing this would say DW2. What do you know? Both M390. Now let's take a look at the pivots side by side. You can see the 2, which is on the right, is interesting because the adjustment is on the front side with the cover on the back. I guess I would have reversed that if I had a choice, if that was up to me. I guess I would have had the solid pivot cover on this show side, and then just reverse it so that the screw side was on the reverse. But all things considered, it's very minimal, but that's one thing I would have done, much like they did in number 3. You can see the difference. It just looks better, period. And then you adjust on that side, but there might be a reason. Maybe because it's a frame lock, it needed to be done this way. I'm not sure. I don't design knives, I just love them. I love them knives. So with all things being equal as far as specifications, grinds, being identical, numbers, dollar signs being close, the decision really comes down to maybe weight. And again, the frame lock model is going to be a little bit lighter than heavier than the liner lock. It's no reversible pocket clip on either model, so you're not going to be putting this on, flipping the clip over. See how the pocket clip is right hand dominant, I suppose you could say. However, lefties are usually pretty used to that at this point, I think, unfortunately. But as a righty, I do appreciate the way a knife looks without the inclusion of the lefty-friendly option. Sorry, lefties. Me personally, I'm drawn to the liner lock model, just because of the weight, the feel, the more substantial more substantial pronounced grind marks, as well as, I already said the weight, but the color. I like the carbon fiber G10 mix. The action has been reliable this entire video. I haven't hit that D10 ball or double clutched it, I guess, as Metal Complex would say. Oh, I just did. See, that seemed to have happened to me in carry more often than or in fidgeting, I suppose, more often than I have shown you on camera. Whereas this one, being a frame lock, the way my thumb hits it, anyways, it usually never fails. So on a personal level, I enjoy using this one more, or fidgeting with it more, opening and closing it more, and I just am drawn more towards this model. However, those are two differences between the two that I noticed. That I will, if you're looking at these two, wondering which one should I get, those are two things that I noticed right off. You can see here, just based on how the sun is hitting these grinds, they have the same mark, the same compound idea and essentially the same lines, but not. You see what I'm saying? See how this is much more rounded and not so proud. So the sun shows you real solidly right here where each mark is in each grind line. See? So the lighter section here of steel where my finger is a convex ground part. Everything from that darker pattern back is compound, except for the top of the swedging. Same with the bottom. However, it's just a little bit more rounded. To me, it's not a big deal, actually. As I'm looking at it, it really, I would have no preference if I ordered one and got it and not having them side by side, I would be happy. Looking at them side by side, I would choose the top one, which is the Envy 3. based on the way the blade looks. What else can I tell you? Looks really nice. The blade to handle ratio is great. I think, you know, this is absolutely a full-size knife. I think that being a full hand and being its size, this is absolutely a hard-to-use knife. It's great that it's compound. I love compound knives, and I usually don't care for compound. I might be mixing up these words, though. I just thought back. I think I say compound when I meant to say hollow. I love hollow ground blades. Obviously, they stay thin for a long time, even through sharpening. Take a look at the sharpening Tuya, by the way, and all the corners being knocked down around there where your finger would be, which makes going up here really comfortable to hold the knife. It really is. I have to say, this is one of the first times I've actually put a knife in hand and said, wow, this feels different than a different knife, you know, than a lot of knives. I can feel a difference in hand, that this would be a comfortable knife to work with. I can't say much more than that. In my hand, it just fits like a glove. I'm in the right position right here. I'm locked in. I have the perfect purchase. You know, I give full endorsement, guys. So for what it's worth, gets the EDC Journeys stamp of approval. The price point is up to you. Obviously, knives are knives. As Patty says, don't spend your house money on them. But if you are in the market for a knife in this price range, in this of this quality, both of these are great great specimens. If you like one of them more than the other, go for it while you can. I'm sure that they are unavailable as we speak, but you know, when you get the opportunity, if you get the opportunity, if you like these knives, you should probably jump on it. Again, they're in the 250 to 220-ish range, depending on the model. Alright, guys. Now I need to change topics real quick. I've already put my microphone away, so sorry about the audio change, but I wanted to add another clip to this video. One thing that Metal Complex does, I'm sure others do as well, that I think I want to incorporate into my videos if I can remember to do it, because I'm usually doing things on a whim. Never do I plan ahead and write down what I should say during a video. Always is it pulled out of nowhere at the last second. And for your viewing pleasure, I have some Weehaw Torx bits here just to tell you what the pivot screw is. Starting with number 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna just take out a T8 screw or pivot, or a T8 bit. Let's see, it's a little sloppy. Let's see if a T9 fits. No, so it is a T8 on the pivot. On the Envy 2. It's also a T8 on the body. It's also a T8 on the clip. Okay, so T8 all the way around, including the stainless steel insert on the titanium frame lock. On the Tuya 3, the Envy 3, T8, T8, perfect, T8s all the way around again. So, oh, that's interesting. It's screwed on both sides, so it must be interesting. So, it's screwed on both sides. I wonder why they did that. I suppose if it were me, I'm not sure, would it look better without those screws? With or without? What do you guys think? Because if you're gonna have the screws on this side, they could have done without these. Right? I'll give you a good once over of the Tuya Envy 2. So again, both of them, we have the Tuya Envy 2 and 3, and it's T8 bits all the way around for each of them on every screw. So just an FYI. Let's zoom in. So again, Tuya Envy 2, Nice and rounded wherever you want it to be. Contoured handle. Good jimping. It's actually better jimping on the 2 than the 3, I think. Maybe it's just a fluke on this model. This is the handle of the titanium handle. From the top, you can see the clip. Frame lock. Lockup looks nice. Obviously on washers. I mean, obviously on ball bearings. You can see them right there. Let's see here. Nice wrap around that nice big stop pin. Take a look at that. That is a nice big stop pin, and it wraps. You can see how that tang is kind of a U shape. It goes around that. I like that a lot. That really adds to the security of the blade, honestly. And it gives me a little bit, just that much more liking of these knives. I really do like them a lot already, but that just adds one more cherry to the sundae. Let's see here. Must be the same on this. Yes, it is. Beautiful, huge stop pin. Stops both ways on that pin. That's nice. I like that a lot. You can see that tang work in there. Tang work, oh my god. Okay, on that note, I'm only back for a second video right now, guys, so I'm sorry that I'm not scripted, and hopefully you got a good laugh of an unscripted video, but that was the Tuya Envy 2 and 3. I missed an open tag that I was included in from Outpost 76. Unfortunately, I was busy. It was just before I was getting back into recording. So, first of all, I wanted to apologize to him, and I wanted to kind of tie him back into it. I figure if I'm going to compare everything, you know, in size and in ratio to the PM2, maybe I should do some edge retention testing like Outpost 76 does. You know, really get in there to some wood. Well, if you're a follower of my channel, you know that I've had a tree issue in the front yard recently. Maybe I should call some guys up and take care of it, and we can test this knife out the Outpost 76 way. Or at least the way I see it. The way my interpretation, the EDC Journeys interpretation of the Outpost 76 edge retention test. Stay tuned for that. If you only wanted to see the Tuya knives, that portion's now over. If you want to see my parody version of Outpost 76 edge retention testing of a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in Maximus steel, here you go. No PM2s were injured during the video or photography of this film. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Really, the story is that that's a big tree that we've had family pictures in front of. The first day of school pictures from first grade through high school. Grandchildren have had it in front of it, for example. I mean, it's just it's a tree that was part of the family and is now gone. So goodbye, friend.